Hey, y'all, you rednecks out there. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Well, this here is my first time ever doing one of these shows, so I figured I'd do it to all you rednecks. Because, heck, there's a lot of you rednecks out there. That's right. Anyways, first off, you ain't gotta mind my Willie or Hank or Merle in the background. It's just the way I roll. I'm gonna teach you a little bit about buying yourselves a home. So, let's get down to it. I'll make it quick. I'll be doing this about once a week, maybe twice a week. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, here you go. Bam, bam, bam. All right, so I gotta tell you my NMLS number. It's 787257. That means I am licensed to be able to do mortgage lending for you guys. And I've been doing it for, let's see here, been doing it for about 12 years now. At least 12 years. So, been there, done that, been through the ups, the bubbles, the lows, crawled in the mud, flown with angels. That's right, I said angels. Fancy that. So, I'm just going to give you, let's say, each time I come on here, I'm going to give you 5 tips. 5 tips to be able to buy yourselves a house, because it's a good time right now to buy a house. And I'm telling you this right now, from me to you. It's so good. I just went and bought myself a house. Ditch bank Oakley like me. Imagine that. So no, I just saw it happening all around me. Everybody else getting pre-approved for getting houses, and I was like, heck, I'm gonna get in on this. Because I don't know if you heard the news lately, but they're fixing to up the interest rates. So you gotta figure the same house you buy next year this time is gonna cost X amount of dollars more, just for off of interest alone. So we'll get down to it. First thing you need to do, number 1, first thing you need to do is have yourself some money. Well, heck, if that was the issue, I didn't need to tell you all that, right? All right, so that's the first thing y'all need to do. So write that down. Y'all need to have money. And I'm not talking like millions of dollars, nothing like that. Y'all need to have some money for some sort of down payment, or just some money set aside to be able to pay for the house for about 4 months or so. A lot of lenders look at that right now. They look and see if you have some money set up in the bank to be able to make the house payment for like 4 months. They call it reserves, because a lot of people just walked away back in the day. And it was pretty brutal when the housing market crashed. But nowadays, they have everything set up to make sure that you have the money to be able to not only have the down payment, but to be able to have a reserves in your bank. So you don't necessarily have to give the down payment. You could get a gift from a relative, depending on what type of loan it is. FHA, you only have 3.5% down. It's a good loan. You could get a gift for that. VA loans. My daddy was a proud veteran. So was my grandpa and my other grandpa. And they both my grandpas fought in World War II. And one of my grandpas was he was on a boat that got hit by one of them planes, kamikazes. So luckily he made it. And then my dad and my uncle were in Vietnam. My dad ended up getting the Purple Heart. He was a medic there, so I'm proud of him. So they salute the veterans by giving them 100% financing on any type of home loan. Okay, and a lot of people get that confused. All right, a lot of people get that confused. We'll go into this some other time about the types of loans there are. Okay, but VA loan and FHA loan are the two that I just talked about right now. Those are government loans. Okay, VA loan stands for Veterans Administration, and FHA stands for Federal Housing Administration. So they're federal loans. They're federally backed loans. So they're government loans, as most people call them. So, anywho's, aside from that, we'll go into the different types of things later. But, okay, so that was the one thing you needed was have money, right? Okay. If you ain't got money, have somebody that can give you a gift, but you still have to have money for closing costs. Because the sellers right now, they're selling them houses like hotcakes. So you can make an offer on a house, and there could be 5 more people that make the same offer on the house. And next thing you know, they're taking the best offer. So make sure you have some money to be able to pay closing costs. And in general, closing costs are right around 1 or 2% of the loan, roughly right around there. More along the lines of 1.5, I would say, and you could also often ask the seller to pay some of the closing costs, but that has to be negotiated when you guys are making the offer on the house, when they're about ready to accept the offer. So that's that. So we got 1 and 2 out of the way. So 1, we got needs money, and 2, you needs to have money again to be able to pay for that, the closing costs. Okay, so that's 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 are you got to have money. Well, that's all I need to say, really, right? Jesus. I'm just kidding. I'm just give you a little heads up. All right. So number 3, you don't necessarily have to have good credit. All right. Credit, when I mean good credit, there's 3 major repositories. There's Equifax, TransUnion, and the other one, Equifax, TransUnion, and drawing a mind blank. Oh, well, I'll know it as soon as I get done here. And they give different scores. Each of them do. They score differently based off of your pattern of history of credit. And we'll go into credit at a different time. So you want to know what your credit is. And the thing that a lot of people don't get is because they check their credit scores like, hey, I'm freecredit.com, whatever it may be. And they'll give you a score. Okay, they'll give you a score, but they won't give you a score for getting a mortgage. Okay, that's what you got to remember. It's different having a mortgage score than it is a traditional score. You could go into a car dealership one day, and you'd have a lot higher score on your car dealership FICO than you would coming into a mortgage lender. Now, the reasoning behind that is the credit bureaus, they assign different scores based off of the fact that it's going to be a bigger loan. Okay, you have a higher score if you're taking out a loan for $10,000 compared to a $10 million loan. It's just the way it is. That's the way the credit bureaus score them. If you don't like it, go talk to all 3 of them. I don't make the rules. It's not a lender overlay. It's not anything like that. That's the way the banks do it. Okay, and there's things that can be done even if you have kind of spotty credit, stuff like that. But for the most part, you want to be at least over 580, minimum over 580 to be able to get it. Middle score too, not the high, not the low. You want to have middle scores above 580 for you and your other borrower if you have somebody else. Okay, there we go. So you want to have money for down payment. You want to have money for closing costs, and then you want to have credit. Okay, that's 3 things right there. All right. So another thing that you want to have. You want to have yourselves a good real estate agent. Mm-hmm. You can often get every once in a while. I'll be honest with you. Every once in a while, you could come across a good deal. Not having a real estate agent. But then again, my take on it is this. I happen to be fortunate. I had a good buddy of mine. He was a real estate agent. And he actually came and looked at the place and everything like that, knowing he wasn't going to get paid for it because I was going directly to the buyer that was here. It just fell in my lap. It was one of those things. I didn't mean it, and it just the way it was. And he, but when you're going to buy a house, you're going to want a professional to be able to look at the house with you, tell you all the goods and bads about it, and everything like that. And take the time out to be able to say, yeah, that's a good deal for you, or no, it's not a good deal for you. Real estate agents can run reports just like lenders can, just like I can. And we can run reports showing you kind of what's the average comparable sale that's going for in the area. And that's what the house will be valued off of ultimately, is what other houses sold in the immediate area that were like your house. That's called a comparable sale. Okay? So we got that down. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we need money for 1, money for 2. Man, I really should have thought this through, huh? Credit for number 3, and then a real estate agent for number 4. All right. So now this would get a lot more involved than this. So there's so much to talk about. But anyways, we'll pick up on it the next time. I just want to give you 5 pieces of advice. Okay, the 5th one right here. 5th one. Hands down, hands down, hands down. Get your inspections done. Okay? Even if they're not written into the contract, get them done. And on top of that, get a homeowner's warranty. Okay? Even though you get inspections done, inspections will be done all the time. They're always done. But, you know, inspectors are human beings. They miss things too. So you have somebody come and look up and down and left and right and straight and, you know, every which way you want to think. And things will be missed. Perfect example. I bought my house in June. Yeah, I bought my house in June. And my water heater went out. I had a full-on inspection on it by an engineer. Number 2, right after that, my stove went out. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I just got these. I mean, 2 different people, too, inspected them. And I even ordered them. So it's not like they were working trying to swindle any money out of me or anything. They're doing their job. They give me a full report on it. And things happen. Get a homeowner's warranty regardless. Regardless if it's a brand new home or if it's a used home. Definitely if it's a used home. You can sometimes have those automatically taken out of your paycheck and whatnot, you know. So anyways, I'll wrap it up with that. I just want to come on and say hi. I'm going to be doing this, like I said, about once a week, maybe twice a week. Just giving you little tips, little hints about home buying, about first-time home buying, second-time home buying, investment home buying, and a lot of other things. So you'll get to know me. I'm a little strange. I'm looking at myself right now. This is weird. I'm ugly. Anyways, well, we're not here to talk about how ugly I am, but we got to use 5 good pieces of advice to be able to start off the home buying experience. Number 1 being money for down payment. Number 2, money for closing costs. Number 3, credit. Try to work on your credits. Work on your credits. Number 4. I even forgot what number 4 is. A good real estate agent. Have a good real estate agent. Number 5 is to get a homeowner's warranty and do your inspections while the house is in escrow. Alright? So I'll be going over the very start of it to the middle of it and tell you what happens in the middle of it, when the waiting period is for the lender to do their thing, and then I will be getting into the end of it, the close of the sale. So I just wanted to come on, tell you rednecks, I'm looking out for you. Alright. Have a good evening.